All right, so the ruggedized miniature reflex, the RMR, has been a staple, obviously, with red dot sights since they were a thing for pistols. I guess before they were a thing for pistols, I was watching Sage Dynamics video on this, and let me go ahead and clear this because it is not currently clear, as I was just carrying it in the backyard, front yard. You see, clear there. I was watching Sage Dynamics video, and he was talking about, I haven't had any experience with the RMR Type 1, but he mentioned it wasn't originally made for pistols, and the RMR Type 2 was pretty much the Type 1, just optimized more for pistol usage. Obviously, not the perfect sight, but the best we have. I think that's how he put it, and I'd have to agree. With his extensive testing, this thing has proven itself, you know, beyond a shadow of a doubt to be the best red dot for the money of its kind, open emitter at this point. And I really wanted to go closed emitter on this, but this is actually going on my Glock. I just have it on my dagger for now because I don't have my Glock currently, but I wanted to go closed emitter, like I said in my last video, I think. But PSA had a sale on these things, as you saw if you saw my short. That's where I got this RMR, and I couldn't pass it up. So this is actually going to go to the gunsmith Monday, and he's going to use this to do my RMR cut. And I'm super excited, but for now, you know, like I said, I have it on the dagger, and I love it. It's not zeroed, obviously. It's pretty close, but I'm not going to commit to zeroing it to this pistol until I get it on the pistol it's going to stay on. So first impressions, obviously it's a unit and having this be my second red dot ever, they still feel kind of small. Obviously they're small, but they're smaller than you'd imagine. When I first got my Holosun, my 507C, it was a lot smaller than I thought it was going to be. When you hold it in your hand, it feels very, not fragile, but kind of fragile, honestly, because it's so tiny. But if you've seen any kind of durability test with these, you know that's not the case. And I can say it does feel fragile, but the buttons are very robust. Everything feels sturdy and overbuilt. Obviously, the frame around this is extra thick. And yeah, it's a pretty solid unit here. This thing is disgusting, and it is clear. I've already shown that, right? So don't freak out that I'm flagging myself by wiping the end of my barrel off. So I'm on my way to my shit hit the fan Glock. I wish I had the Glock here to kind of show you my vision, the black RMR, black Gen 3 Glock, black TLR 1HL that will soon be a Surefire X300 UB or TB. I'd like a turbo, but they're generally a little more expensive. So let's get back to first impressions. Like I said, everyone's seen videos on these, but from someone who's only had, you know, very little experience with red dots, I will say, in comparison to the 507C, the dot in this starbursts a little bit more to me with my astigmatism. I'm thinking about trying to like draw that on paper, draw what I see on paper to kind of give a side-by-side comparison of like something, a worse and better example of what a dot can look like, because my Sig Romeo 5 is, I can't remember if it's the worst or the best, but it's further on one end of the spectrum or the other. I'd say the RMR is kind of in the middle, and the 507C is the best for sure that I've been able to look through. So you have to kind of watch out for that if you're going to try one of these. Unfortunately, I couldn't try it in the store. They had some Holosun, some 509Ts, which I was really interested in, but none of them had batteries, of course, and I couldn't look through them with the reticle on. Come on, PSA, get your shit together. Even Academy Sports has batteries in their optics that I can look through. So, given I'm a PSA fanboy, I'll admit it, but that's kind of an oversight. If you're going to have stuff in store, an optic that produces a reticle onto a pane of glass, why not have batteries in them so people can look through them, especially if you have one out on display already. I understand the RMR is kind of, you know, a more difficult optic to put on display like that because of the bottom, how it's got an open bottom with the battery and it sandwiches to the top of the slide, but they make plates for that. I don't see why you couldn't put a plate on there and just put some nuts on the other side if you're gonna have a display one anyway, just to have something that people can look through instead of just guessing how it looks, because obviously a camera isn't gonna do it justice because the camera doesn't have your astigmatism. That's that. I'm not going to go on any further about about that because it's not that big of a deal, honestly. I mean, given if you don't have an astigmatism, it's not a big deal at all. You can look online and see what your reticle is going to look like. So I digress. But so that's the dot comparison. Controls, there's not a lot of feedback on these up and down buttons, but it takes a lot of force to press them in, which I like because they are so big. It makes you wonder if this is going to get adjusted in your appendix carry or something like that. I don't think it would. My Holosun has, I think, the two on this side up and down, and those give you a little more feedback, but they're also a little easier to click in, given they're on your left side. So if you're carrying appendix and you're right-handed, that's going to be against your body, and if your body's anything like mine, your skin doesn't have knobs that push out where the, the plus and minus is going to be on a Holosun. So this has got, you're exposed on both sides, but I think it makes up for it in the button press, the actual difficulty it is to press the button. And I have it set to a certain setting where you can see it in bright light and in the dark without it blinding you, and I think it ended up working pretty good. I mean, this is pretty bright. I have the brightness on the phone turned down, but you can obviously still clearly see the dot, even though there's a flood of light coming in from the side. Let's see if I turn my light on. Can you see it? Yeah. You're hard pressed to see it there, but let's see if I can see it with my naked eye. I can see it, not very clearly, but this is about worst case scenario. It's daytime, my windows are open, I have a lamp sitting right next to me, and my 1000 lumen light is on about a foot away from an object, and with the naked eye I can still see it, and at nighttime this setting doesn't blind me. I'm not entirely sure what setting this is because, let's see, I'll go up from here and see where it maxes out, and I'll count backwards, or I'll just count. So let's see, 1, oh, that's down. Okay, so let's go back to where I was. That's where I was. 1, 2, 3, 4, Jesus Christ, 5, 5, 5. So 4 from the top. So if you go full bright, 1, 2, 3, 4, that's where I got it set right now. Wow, that full bright, I don't know if I've ever gone that bright with this. That's kind of ridiculous. Hang on, let me look through it with my eyes. Oh my God, that's obnoxious. That's absurdly bright. I don't know who would ever need a dot to be that bright. Let's see it with the light on, and yeah, very clearly visible with the light on. With the naked eye as well, it's still starbursting like crazy for me, even reflecting off this bag right here that's sitting right in front of me. So there's a pretty good brightness comparison. 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's where I like it set for now. About to knock my lamp over. I think I actually went down 1 too low. There we go. So there's a little bit about the brightness settings. Trying to think of anything else that I may have about this. I haven't gotten a chance to go out and shoot it, so this is kind of a first impressions overview and just kind of a form factor comparison with it on the dagger. If you have a Glock 19, you're going to have a very similar form factor. That's one thing that I'm picky about with red dots. It's stupid, but the RMR is kind of small, like in comparison to my 507. Like, I think the 507 may be a little taller, but it's definitely a little thicker here, and I think that looks better on a bigger gun. This on a 19 sized frame is perfect, I think, proportion wise, but on my 17, I think it's going to look a little small. You know, what fucking difference does it make? None, but you know, I want my gun to look cool too. Is that going to make me pick a different optic? No. Do I want an acro? Yes. Am I going to get one? Probably not. So the red dot there, the RMR is plenty for me. I'm actually so excited. I've wanted a Trijicon anything since I was, you know, in like 8th grade when Modern Warfare came out the first time and you could get the ACOG, and I learned what Trijicon was and what they did. And man, I still want an ACOG, but obviously that's not going to happen anytime soon. I'm kind of focused on pistols right now. I have an AR built, and I want to do a video about that and the stuff I've done to that gun as well, but that'll have to come in the future when I have, there's a few more things I want to do before I do my review of that. I also want to shoot it some more and put some more rounds through my SIG Romeo 5 before I talk about it at all, because I really love it so far, but I'm actually really biased towards it because of the research I did and honestly who I watch on YouTube. I was watching Coach from Tactical Hive talk about how many they use in their classes, and that's really what pushed me over the edge to buy it. Academy had them on sale, so I was like, fuck it, and I got one, and I have enjoyed it so far, but like I said, round count's pretty low, so I don't really want to go and say too much about it before I shoot it some more. I feel comfortable talking about this because it's an RMR, and an RMR is an RMR is an RMR, and I don't think I'm gonna have any issues with it. And if I do, I'll just get a hold of Trijicon and I'll get them to take care of it. So that's my RMR. That's my dagger so far. This thing is way more pimped out than I ever imagined it would be. Like I said, the RMR isn't staying on here. The 507C is going back on here. But even with the 507C, still more pimped out than I ever expected this dagger to be, considering the pistol itself. You can get right now, I think they're having a pretty good sale, so you can get a complete slide for $199 and the frame for $49.99. So $250 dagger, pre-shipping and FFL fees. That's awesome for a Glock clone that's made in South Carolina. I don't know. I know some people have their issues with them, but man, this has been a tank. I say it every video, and I show this gun in pretty much every video because I really love it that much. I want a mag well for it and some extended mags, but other than that, I'm not touching internals on this thing. It just shoots too well, unless I have to. So, yeah, guys, what do y'all think? I'm well on my way to my shit hit the fan Glock, dude. I'm so excited. It's happening a lot sooner than I thought. I've been putting in a lot of work after hours and on my days off. This is actually my only day off this week, and I spent most of it in the garden, and I'm hot as fuck. I was actually planning on going into the woods and kind of giving you a little bit better scenery for this video, because I know my coffee table and my kitchen table aren't the best, and I have a pretty good spot out at a local wildlife management area I can go, but man, like I said, I spent all my morning in the garden, and it's too fucking hot here in South Georgia. Just to give you an idea of how hot it is, here's my holster that I was wearing while I was gardening, and that is my sweat line. So if you're ever considering getting a sweat guard for your pistol, if you do anything outside, you live in the South, highly recommend it. I like my leather one a lot because not only does it stop the sweat, but it keeps that gun off of your body. And as gross as it is, dude, as fucking nasty as it is, it absorbs the sweat and it smells fine. It's leather. It smells like fucking rough and tumble leather. I mean, like I said, as gross as it is, it doesn't retain smell at all. And yeah, people have been using leather for this kind of shit for fucking decades, centuries. So cry all you want. This is how I got it set up, and I love it, and it fits me well. I might cut this back down a little bit because it is starting to fold over. This is still super robust, but all right, I'm going off into a million different things right now. I'm just going to go ahead and stop it here. Expect more reviews coming in the near future. I'm going to do my AR, which is a Palmetto State upper, Arrow precision bolt, Arrow breech charging handle, Arrow M4E1 lower, Black Hawk drop-in handguard, piece of shit handguard. I need to change it, but that's what I got on there now, and it's treated me well. I've got a Magpul light mount with a Surefire, G2 Nitrilon, SIG Romeo 5, Tacticon iron sights, which I'm on the fence with those. And yeah, so be looking forward to that, guys. And when I get my Glock back, obviously I'll throw this RMR in there, and hopefully by then I'll have a Surefire to throw on there, and I'll be able to kind of show off my shit hit the fan gun and kind of give you a rundown on how that pawn shop Glock has treated me since I bought it. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Sorry there wasn't much of an update. This was more of me just bragging about my RMR. I never thought I'd have one of these. Y'all, I'm just super excited. I fucking busted my ass to make the money to get this. I'm not a super wealthy person by any means, so to have a red dot that's made in America that says high quality, and to have worked so hard to get it and get it a lot sooner than I expected, just has me really excited. And just kind of wanted to share that with my gun buddies here on YouTube, because you guys are the shit, and I can't believe I have 100 followers. Or subscribers. That's another thing I want to touch on real quick, guys. Thank you so much. I know I made a short about it, but I just want to say thanks again for 100 subs. Like I said in the short, I didn't make this channel to get a bunch of subscribers. I made this channel to just talk about shit and review shit. And the fact that there are over 100 people that find my content worthy of a subscription is pretty crazy. I mean, I know it's hard to gain my subscription because I don't want my feed cluttered up, and for you guys to let me clutter the fuck out of your feed with my stupid fucking shorts and my reviews and my rambles about guns and optics and shit, man, that's pretty fucking cool. So thank you guys again, and I will see you guys in the next one. Oh, I'm gonna do a channel suggestion. I want to do a channel suggestion because I like learning about new channels on YouTube to watch. This has nothing to do with guns, but it's Beard Meets Food. I've been addicted to his fucking videos, dude. It's this guy, I think he's from somewhere in the UK, and he goes and does food challenges at restaurants, and he pretty much never fails, and he gets his free t-shirt, gets to eat for free. I'm talking about like the eat all this food in this amount of time and you get it for free, get a free t-shirt, yada yada, that kind of thing. Beard Meets Food. But if you're into just YouTube, random YouTube content, go watch his stuff. Everything he eats honestly looks amazing, except when he does UK challenges that involve breakfast, that involve blood sausage. Fucking disgusting, dude. I don't know how they eat that shit. Anything that has blood in it, no fucking way. That metallic-y ass flavor taste like turns me the fuck off. But that's a suggestion I got for you guys. If you got any suggestions for me, leave them down in the comments. I'm always looking for new content, even whether or not it's gun related, you know, or anything like that. I pretty much use YouTube for my sole entertainment, unless I'm watching a show with my girlfriend that we're both into. That's the only other kind of stuff that I watch. But yeah, all right, I'll cut it off there. See you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching, and yeah, peace out, guys. Have a good one.